Slander's back, you fucking bitches. Just turned 21. So, crack a beer, sit back, enjoy the episode. Just wanted to take a minute to talk about something really quick at the beginning of this one. I've been reached out to by certain people that are, and a certain person that's involved with this organization or this act that's trying to be passed in New York. It's called the Compassionate Care Act, and it's pushing for the legislation to allow certain clinical victims of different painful types of disorders, say HIV, AIDS, cerebral palsy, whatever you want to talk about.
It's a good cause.
They want to be able to get medical marijuana to these people because it statistically has crazy benefits to different diseases and its interactions with it and how it's therapeutic and all that good stuff. It's very well thought out stuff. Future joint endeavors with these people may be in the works for us, but as of right now, at the very least, I live in New York, and I'm not really an activist per se myself, but I respect those trying to get something accomplished because the only vehicle available to you is the current system, which sucks. But if you can get people suffering in tremendous amounts of pain, like all natural, herb that just fucking grows everywhere. Then I'm on board with that one. So if you just go to, I believe it's just compassionatecare.ny.org.
That's right.
And you can sign the petition and all that stuff. It's a couple months from now. It'll be when it's actually going up for whatever it's going up for.
I'm excited for the opportunity to even be involved in something that obviously speaks close to home, and I'll just leave it at that because I watched some videos finally today from that website and it moved me, whatever. It's good stuff,
It's, again, like I said, I'm not an activist, but this is something that go for it. I mean, I personally believe in flat-out legalization like Colorado has done, but that's my own personal politics. If I can get behind something that enables change now, then, if it takes 5 minutes of my time and a signature and, whatever.
So you're just doing this for me, basically, right? I'm just kidding. I'm
doing
kidding,
it because it's the right thing to do.
It is. That's what I wanted to say. That's great. I just wanted to get that out of you, bud. That's all, because it's the right thing to do. And
it is. It's the right thing to do.
It's illegal for the wrong reasons,
No, I not even want to go down the whole preachy thing. It's just common sense at this point. I don't even want to argue with people about the validity of the insane amount of just innovation in industry that would center around one fucking plant.
Let's be honest. You're one of these
it's
people
ridiculous.
Who thinks it's ridiculous.
The things that hemp can do industry-wise and what marijuana can do for you medically is astounding. And we deny this plant. So if it has to start with the people who medically need it first, and we can show that it really does help them and helps guide the way and maybe advance some thinking, then yes. Slow progress, but progress nonetheless. So, hats off to those guys and the guy that, reached out to us, Keith. Definitely I'll have the link associated with this podcast, and we'll get the word out there.
Thank you.
We're from New York. We might as well take the time.
Thank you.
I feel like we're a little backwards. 20 other states with medical use to have flat-out legalization, and New York hasn't done either medical or flat-out legalization. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a liberal state.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know. We gotta. You're right. You make a great point. We gotta kind of move past that a little bit. We really gotta get to the point where we're just done and moving on as smart, whatever we are, monkey man.
Conventional attitudes and substance interaction, it's just so mind-blowingly awful in this country, and just in general, in most societies in general. There are things that have profound effects on you that are out there, and they're natural and grow, and I'm not going to name anything specific, but there's different plants in this world that can rewire you, help you out psychologically, help you physically. And I'm not saying pharmaceuticals. I'm not going this whole holistic approach. I'm not saying it either. Just the whole template should be available to you. Everything that's out there that could possibly benefit you should be allowed to be an option as your sovereign being. It's there, and for somebody else to make arbitrary rules saying otherwise is very childish and wrong. And if we can't see how detrimental our attitude towards how we view substances and like what's a drug and what's not a drug. And you know, while somebody can sit there and tell me that smoking pot is, you know, I mean, that you're doing drugs, versus that same person is on like 2 Valiums and a codeine or something.
Yep.
You're on drugs too, and that argument's been made a million times as well, and I'm aware of that. But the fact that even exists, that possibility for that scenario to even exist, should be the immediate red flag, knowing that we are nowhere near where we need to be. And everything's always got to, like, the answer to shit for some reason in this fucking country, it's always got to be the extreme. It's always got to be like, oh man, just drop acid and figure out the universe, bro. Or, you know, it's some staunch, no nonsense fucker who's never even smoked a joint, and you know what I mean, he's an asshole and you don't like being around him, but he's the one that makes money in industry.
Right.
So like, what? So 2 stark contrasts are my only options. There's not like infinite amount of possibilities of different kinds of social evolution and people you could be. No, it's either this or this. That's bullshit. And if the argument goes in that direction at all, again, immediately you are giving credence to a lie. It just, the whole context and scenario is an artificial construct.
Hey, I can see you're ready to grab on that mic. You can grab on that mic.
No, but no, it's an artificial construct that just keeps things in a perpetual loop of a style of conversation that never actually goes anywhere. And that's the dynamic of society today. Just, you know, you're not supposed to advance forward. No, the same topics are supposed to take time, and we need to see the will of the people, but really it's not represented whatsoever or statistically available to you with the numbers. How many like-minded folk there are in this country will probably surprise a lot of fucking people. Yeah. But if you point the cameras at a sliver, like a 1% or 2% of the population, since that number, that 1% or 2% is so big, it still looks like that's the majority. But in actuality, it's just like a 1% of a huge fucking number.
Well, hey, you know, I couldn't have made the case better. Let's put it that way. Thank you for doing that, because Slander is obviously repping something that's good, and that's what matters. It's CompassionateCareNewYork.org, and it's definitely something that I'm passionate about. You're obviously passionate about it, because it's compassion, and compassion is something we all need a little bit more of. Let's put it that way.
Ew.
But anyway, enough of that. I want to plug Red Bull, because I drink it like it's too much, you know. For what it's worth, I drink it like coffee sometimes, and I'm working on that shit, for lack of a better term. So Red Bull it is, if you can handle it.
America,
for a while.
Land of crank addicts and
Just
alcoholics.
don't turn into a Walmart person, you know, whatever. No diss to them, but
Hey, listen.
Walmart
you
nation.
gotta suck the dick of the corporate overlord sometimes to pay the bills.
Everyone needs a job.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs a job.
Yep. And you know what I mean, depending on the situation, you never know what choices somebody's gonna make.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's, well, my experience and ability to look at things retrospectively is what it is. My whole viewpoint is still shot as well. I realize that. So, well, I've never been somebody else.
Yeah, for what it's worth, it's why I like your show, because it's tongue in cheek, of course, but it sends that intellectual message, and it's eloquent. Now I know you don't like being fanned, but whatever, man. I'm allowed to like cool stuff, and it's cool.
I know.
But enough of that. Anyway, I'm really glad to see you're buying this, and that makes me happy. So, all this cool stuff. Anyway, what's the news today? I don't know. It didn't snow, and it was supposed to, and that's really awesome in upstate, area or whatever.
We don't even know if it's supposed to snow. That's like secondhand information that we got. We never look at the weather. When my weather's here on the list, people, I open the front door and go, it sucks outside.
And when I do look at clocks, it's typically on the hour for some reason, and I'm like, oh, whatever. I must be right on time.
Yeah.
Seems like that's the feeling I get, at least.
The more I'm able to pull away from having to live by conventional standards of time, the more free I've felt. I hate dates. I hate the days of the week and how it's all structured. I understand it's there to create purpose in order in a linear model, but maybe that linear model is fucked.
Well, I think you've made your case pretty clear on all that stuff, definitely. And that's cool. You know, it is. It's a fucked model. I mean, and when
you think linearly,
we're chasing around
to affect great change, it takes a long time and a lot of effort.
Yeah.
When you think laterally, and you encompass, you're constantly evolving, and like you're evolving without choice.
Some of us
you just know that it's necessary,
and
that perception is a continuous transformation.
Yes.
So every moment is different than the last.
That makes sense.
But you know what I mean? And then you get deja vu, which is weird because it's like you're almost experiencing something that you have before, but it's not quite the same, but it's got the same. You're just being nostalgic about an emotional reaction.
Yes, that makes sense. It does. And some people are like, oh, he's aloof. I'm not aloof. I just don't care about clocks much.
I daydream.
I like to daydream, rather, you know.
Because current reality sucks a fat dick half the time. Unless you're really living the creative dream and you're being funded on an epic level to pursue what you want.
Well, I've said it many times. You're kind of
shackled.
Yeah.
You got to do the grind.
I do creative things because I have the time and I have to put that energy.
But if something came along that like swallowed up all your extra time, it would suck.
Which happens to people. People get way too involved and attached.
And I've had to take on jobs where I work those kind of hours, and you know, you have no life. That's tough, and you're still not making enough fucking money. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's just
if I work 80 hours
America,
in a week and do nothing but go to my job and sleep,
we like to pick on America.
I should be well fucking compensated. I don't care what the fucking job is. It's 80 hours of your fucking time.
Well, when you start looking at things globally,
you don't get that shit back.
Right. You're just like you are. Like you said it before. You're like dying to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not fun, man.
It's like it's like I'm in a like, I don't know, like mediocrity me or duking it out, and it's got a knife and I'm trying not to get stabbed.
Yeah.
And you're like trying to turn it on mediocrity and kill mediocrity and transcend it.
Mm-hmm.
I say mediocrity all the time. That's really what I fear is mediocrity, and I don't mean like I need to accomplish things and feel like this sense of vanity. No, what I mean is if I look around and I feel like my life is like some hollow caricature of a fucking movie version of a small town guy living doing nothing. Mm-hmm. I can't do it. It drives me crazy. I don't know why. I squirm at the thought of it. So onward, Captain, into
what's
weirdness.
Next? Yeah, exactly. We can only talk about that so much, and then you're just like, I don't want to be that. I'm not gonna be whatever, you know. I mean, and I think by now with this show, I think we painted a pretty good picture of how we like to think and talk about things and that are going on, you know. And I think that's what's been cool about this show is it sends that message.
Well, we also exist in a social climate where we're not exactly able to express these thoughts and feelings and views all the time. I mean, I might not have had such a strong desire to do a podcast and be a personality, but I didn't feel constricted about like my environment. So everything that's around me around here feels like it's holding me back, or it's oppressive, or it's detrimental to whatever I want to do.
Yep.
And you know, I'm trying to change that tune and narrative. So like my interaction with where we are now turns into a positive, progressive thing. Mm-hmm. I have to flip the script on that, which is cool. You know, it's arrogant, and you know, I mean, it takes a little bit of hubris to pursue it, but you know,
before, you're hyper aware of everything. Let's put it that way.
It's god-awful.
I'm hyper aware of things, and it's a really difficult thing when you're hyper aware. And if
being hyper aware is its own drug.
If you watch this, you will see that it's like, wow, they're going at a furious pace. It's because I'm not some pretentious, but your brain is going 90 miles an hour. The only thing you can do is to verbalize it at times. And I think
just hold on for dear fucking life.
I think everybody suffers from that feeling of like, I have to talk to somebody, and that's why we have come up with the field of psychiatry and whatnot, because everybody needs to talk to somebody. Some people just don't fucking have anybody to talk to.
Never been to a profession, never will be.
No, I don't go down that route. It's why I got out of that field.
Exactly.
Truth.
It's I don't know.
Fuck it,
people
man.
Like, hey, it's just you don't want to hear what you don't want to hear.
I just
it's
can't.
Like, no, I know what the fuck I'm gonna say already.
I can't be that politically correct.
Already looked into it. I have fucking 2 eyeballs and the ability to read Google with the rest of you fuckers.
Yeah, I suck it up for a few times now and again.
It's not like the movie Good Will Hunting anymore.
Yeah.
You can self-teach yourself mass amounts of information about stuff in minutes in your own home in your pajamas.
My father taught me to only say fuck when it's necessary. But he also said saying fuck is fun. And I love my father for teaching me that. Because it's just a word. And I try to embrace that every day. But it's hard because we live in a world where people get caught up on the sounds coming out of these food portals, you know? It's like, bah!
I don't think it's necessarily as bad where we are about that, because generally the conversation where we're at is people are saying inappropriate shit all the time.
Right, so that way
And
where
we live in a very destitute,
it's very hard.
impoverished, fucked up
Imagine
little
living
area.
in like the
It's
very
just,
snowy area. Yeah, ooh.
It's turning more Wild West kind of town as every year goes by.
Can you say
Shit
you got
gets a
an
little
attitude
crazy.
problem during the winter? You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's the way it is. But it's yeah.
It's a common theme that
I
everybody
like
talks about.
looking
The
at
hard
snow, but you know it
northeast
makes it
winters.
harder for me. Snow makes my life
Yeah,
harder.
well, that's a common thing. The
But it makes
northeast
everybody-
having hard winters and making people harder,
Yep.
creates harder people and whatever. It does, you know.
Yeah, that
It
affects
fucking
me too,
sucks.
yep.
And yes, we've been over this. And
Yeah. I don't like seeing my neighbor of all these years have to monkey around with having to plow and all that, because I know at his age he doesn't have it in him, you know?
yeah,
And it's hard. I see him struggle. I see my other neighbors struggle, and I'm just like, they choose to live here, and that's awesome, because it is nice to look at, and we have the winter months, Christmas and all that. And let's face it, Christmas has been painted as a snowy season, you know? So
Yeah.
I think about, like, I've been on the West Coast when it was winter time, and it's a different experience altogether. I like it better, warmer Christmases, that's all. Everybody does. We all would like that.
I get sucked into the unnatural.
Try encouraging people to do stuff, because everybody likes that. They're all in a better mood. They got their whatever swimsuit on.
It's perceptions of the individual.
That's right. Good point.
Because
Yep.
my personal experience of the holidays is it's being hyper aware of this hollow, shallow forest. Why do we even do this? You don't want to be that guy, because there's always that guy. I know I'm being cliche by thinking like that, but that's kind of the point. Is you can't escape being a fucking.
Think too much. Don't think enough. Oh, don't think too much. Don't think enough. Don't think too much. Well, which is it?
Sorry,
you want me to
folks.
really be smart,
I
or
freaked
you want
out
me
there
to
for
be
a
really
second because
stupid?
our panel
Oh,
just
sorry.
went crazy.
Oh, okay.
Like lit up like the 4th of July,
Well, do we
crazy.
need to give that machine?
No,
a break?
I
Alright.
don't think it's that.
All right. Cool.
But we're good now. She sounds like she's back under control.
Oh God, the computer.
You don't understand what the fuck
noises
I was
around
hearing.
here.
It was pretty
You
pretty
got a
interesting.
computer here that just goes whang
Oh,
all
no.
the time. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
It gets annoying, but it's.
I
not-
felt like we just hit a glitch
I
in
like
the
the
Matrix
studio.
because of what we were talking about.
Oh,
That's
it's fun.
essentially the
Yeah.
effect that it put on it. It was like, oh no, agents are surrounding the house.
Well, you know me. You say the word glitch, and I'm like, uh-oh, my glitch, you know. But, anywho. Well, I dare
We
say
opened
the
a
studio is better
Rip
running
in the
than it
space-time
was.
continuum by our
Yeah,
insanely stoner-driven logic.
yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
I didn't say it should.
You said it.
I
It's
didn't
out of the
say
bag
shit.
now. The
Prove it.
horse has left his saddle.
Horse
Wait,
is
that
lost.
would be that wouldn't be very conducive.
Means
to
you're
a
going
fun
nowhere.
ride. Yeah, you're going nowhere fast.
Hey, it happens.
All right. Hey, my horse is iron and rusty. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Everybody's horse is iron and rusty at different times, I suppose. It's a
Yeah.
metaphor, folks. That's all. Fucking A, man.
Well,
it's a
stuff floating around.
weeknight.
Are we allowed to talk about who might be playing next doc that we heard about?
Absolutely.
Are we
Yes.
allowed to? Okay.
Nick will be thrilled, and Ian.
Oh,
says-
and
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Take it
man.
away from me before I
Do
even
it.
get to talk about it. Fucker.
I'm so excited.
Just start dropping names and shit. I'm like, oh.
I pulled it in.
Yeah.
Go for it, bro.
I pulled it in. I pulled out.
Pulled it
I
out.
pulled out. I swear, Your Honor.
I was like, I didn't do
pulled
it.
out. That is not my baby.
That is not my girlfriend. No, I'm just playing, man. It's fun.
Oh my god. No, listen. We're not. This isn't 100%, but we're pretty sure that Rabbit Panda will also be playing next doc now, which is cool because
Yeah.
we just had Ian on, lead singer, the other night. So it's very cool, and it'll probably be near the prime time slot when we're all doing our thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's all I got to say
it
about
just
that.
gets
Okay?
fucking crazier.
Oh my god, we're just adding the insanity on top of insanity.
No, it's just gonna be
Awesome.
more fun. That's
Well,
all.
it's fun, exactly. What happened to the fun machine? Well, we're bringing it back. Woo! It was always there.
Somebody took the fun machine out back and did it like Old Yeller.
Yeah.
That's what happened in this country. Everybody grew a vagina and then just started putting sand in it.
Well,
and that was sexist, Cody. Listen, chill the
okay,
fuck out. It was just a
yeah.
sleazy metaphor. I get it. And I probably could have done better. But I can't be bringing the A game all the time. Come the fuck on.
You're a human being.
See, people need to lighten the fuck up.
I can't say
So
what
stressful.
I want to, even
if I'm not serious. Exactly.
I can't say what I want to. It's a great song.
The day they totally win is the day that humor dies completely. If you're not able to look at all this fucked up shit and laugh, then we're really in trouble. But listen, we're going to take a quick break as usual. We'll be back.
All right.
Yada, yada, yada. We love you. We hate you. We'd be nothing without you. Sounds like a shitty lyrics to a shitty Michael Bolton song. I'll be back.
On that one.
So, I'm going to come right out and say we're back and immediately do what you're not supposed to do and break the fourth wall and say that was an extended break. I could have just come back and been like, yeah, it only been 5 minutes. But just in case the tone and the ebb and flow is stark in contrast to earlier shit, now you know why. Because we live in the real world where real shit happens to you. Some of us can't afford a studio.
You can say that 3 times.
Yeah.
As many as you want.
It's just, you do what you work with what you got. And,
Yeah. And when I boast about
you deal with what life throws at you. You just be easy.
You work in a conducive environment.
Ride that bitch out.
We said it before. A lot of the shit that people come up with that's perfect is out of the shit that's not. Thank you for helping me out with that. Oh, jeez. Now if I could use my hands right, I'd be all right. Jeez Louise.
No, but just keep
Busting
pushing the
filters out.
boundaries.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. Trying to think where to come in on. Shouldn't say it out loud. Oh, no. Here I go breaking the fourth wall again. How dare I? How dare I? This is a professional production.
Neighbors exist.
Got a lot riding on this. No pressure, kid.
It shows created some scrutiny. How did that happen? I have no idea.
Oh, why the fuck
that
I think
weird
your
shit
name
you
is
post
Slander?
up after.
Why the fuck you think I named it Slander?
I like the name. We're talking about it again. Fucking A. I would get backwards so horrible.
Yeah.
Talk about something else, man.
We're good. We're good.
All right.
We're good.
Oh, shit. It's fun. That's all. It's fun.
No, coming up though, I really hope that I hope that who is listening. Part of me, yes, I want this podcast to reach the far corners of the world, of course, where people wherever can access it for free and watch it or listen to it if they want to.
Yeah.
And I do say watch because when you watch it on YouTube, there is a series of clips and photos and quotes and warps and effects and shit that do go accompany this podcast. But I hope that a majority it would be people that are from the local scene and know these references and these band names that we're talking about. Yeah. So for this upcoming June 1st show, I really hope we see a strong turnout. Yeah. Because we just want to hang out and do something crazy. And I'm just, it's like we're kind of throwing down, like, listen, we're here to provide this shit. Are you guys down?
Yep.
And that's the question we're really asking you. So I hope that, people recognize a real fucking thing and, like, jump on it. Because there's potential for some crazy fucking shit to ensue if things are just, like, will start going well with these productions we're involved with. I'm just trying to emulate having a good time and good transitions and good stuff and stuff I personally enjoy. So overall, just you'll see me with nothing but smiles on my face that night unless something goes really haywire. But even then, I probably will forget about it in like 30 seconds because I have ADD and selective memory when need be.
Rat brain.
Yeah.
Lab
like,
rat mouse brain.
Like a
Too
fucking
fast for your own good.
Like an ADD squirrel. Oh, keys.
Yeah. Hey, over here.
Oh,
there's
there's
something
a car.
else to distract you. I'm cool. All right. I'm good. It's a defense mechanism.
Yep.
We both know that. We've been there. It's you.
Definitely an ability you can tap into when you need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to kind of get it under control, but once you realize you can do it, it's something you can use to your benefit.
Oh yeah, it's like teaching an old dog new tricks. That's why.
It's reinventing the context in which you like view the action itself.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of what we were hinting at earlier with the view on substances and stuff. It's like a redefinition of context for anything is pretty much what's needed in life on the sociological level at this point. So you just have to fundamentally reconsider things and go step by step, and you create a conversation and a dynamic that spurs ideas. And you can't solve it through the current system because it just is, but you can alleviate some things through the current system. Sure. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm willing to compromise. I don't believe in being that, like,
I'll keep it real general, but
like,
it's
bad contrast of extremes. I'm not going to be one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm going to evolve, compromise, do things, and work. And you work with what's available to you. And that's what we've been talking about. What's immediately available to you.
Showing, yeah.
Yes. So
Look
you assess your current situation and act upon it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of a fundamental how-to.
How-to, exactly. Yeah. I said it like this. It's like it sounds like psychology on audio, whatever. It is what it is.
It sounds like me just being fucking arrogant.
Yeah, but that's even saying that. I feel ucky, but
ucky,
if that's a word, fucky ucky. There we are. There's a comic in me. Fucky ucky, motherfuckers. Oh shit!
New Trailer Park Boys will be coming out soon.
We all have a little comedian inside us, not literally, but figuratively.
I'm disappointed when we probably do. Oh,
see, that's that shit I got.
Joke,
you can't just say that, so you gotta justify that shit. People have to understand. I'm just kidding. I don't mean that. It's a joke.
Yeah, you really shouldn't take us that seriously.
You find yourself doing that more and more in your life. People do. Everybody does. That's why that Tool song, we both like that one, Hush, there.
Yeah, I can't say what I want to if I'm not serious.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Strong pull towards early Tool recently. Don't know why. I've always loved all of Tool, don't get me wrong. I've loved all of it, always. Just from the minute I found Tool and everything I listened to from there on out pretty much was like, yeah, this band is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, but for some reason there's been this strong pull lately with the mood and tone of my life to the early Tool days of like Opiate and Undertow and something about the rawness. And it's because I feel like I'm in familiar territory and I'm repeating, interacting with shit that, it's weird, it's ugly, had at me before in life. So, you kind of just, you're like singing the mantra to yourself almost. And certain styles of music or bands can like encapsulate those things that get you through. I mean, like, when you look at someone like Machine Gun Kelly, the reason that guy's effective as a rapper is because like that's the lace up movement, preaches, self accountability, making it and staying true to like, working hard for it. Expanding and reinventing yourself, and they've done crazy shit, and that's why he, took off. Or other bands like Dog Fashion Disco who start up an Indiegogo and raise $85,000 and show that they have a fan base. And massive amounts of support.
Is he,
so you just keep going, and like the dynamics of everything is evolving and changing. So it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
This is the Wild West of entertainment, the entertainment industry.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And nobody realizes it. Everybody thinks that it's like a dying system, and oh god, what are we gonna do? And in actuality, all the tools to like evolve and create a new dynamic are like, available to us right now.
Well, for me, it's like this. It's like trying to wake up somebody who's sleeping. Literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When yourself, when I'm sleeping, I mean, sometimes it's not so easy to fucking wake me up. It's not easy to wake people up. Literally, figuratively, whatever you say, it's awakening, and that sounds pretentious and douchey, but it's how I feel about it. Fuck it,
Yeah. Yeah, well,
and again, I shouldn't even question that kind of thought. It seems normal to me.
How do you, with a straight face, ask somebody just like I don't know, eye to eye, go, listen, I need you to reevaluate everything you've ever thought about everything.
Yep. Well,
you're gonna go, fuck you. I ain't got time for that shit.
Well, that's why I find that I was explaining myself away to death, because I've lived under some scrutiny. We all have, but I've kind of taken it to a degree. I don't want to talk about myself on here too much, but it is what it is. Anyway, speaking of which, there's some DFD. Fuck yeah, we can say that. DFD. Oh, it's not. Well, it's Todd singing. I know that much. That's he has so many goddamn bands I can't keep up with them. What's this one? What is this?
I think it's Polka Dot.
Polka Dot Cadaver, yeah, of course. Oh, I love this one. Jesus Christ. I don't know how those guys do it.
I do. Talent.
Yeah, you said it. Bingo. Ding ding.
Talent. God Awful Society.
Yeah. Perhaps under
the outlet of weird art.
Just came out. Yeah, there it is. This time was wiped out another awesome song, without sounding like that. I can say that because I'm a fan, but
no, what should alarm
he doesn't
people
talk
is,
like that.
is the fact that really good, authentic art reflects a really warped, fucked up sense of what certain people view the world as. So if it's that extreme, demented, and warped, and it's really good art, and it just stands alone as good, that should scare the shit out of you, because that means that things are really fucking bad.
When when one of your favorite childhood bands is now taking a comeback again, for a guy like me, that's hope. The words, it's hope. That's the definition of hope right there. If you needed to put your thumb on it, for me at least, maybe not for everybody, that's hope. A band like that, being that successful after that many years of dormancy, but yet being productive, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That band has remained productive. Those people, those members, whatever, they've worked. And I've watched it firsthand, and I've said to you before, because I talked to you about Todd and the fact that I've known him for a long time, but I try to keep it brief, because fanning anything too much, but I'm a fan of that shit. I can't get over it. The music's that good. Anyway.
Just pointing out, though, the original point before you went down the rabbit hole was the evolution of creativity and the ability to self-distribute and, consolidate in ways that were never before thought of.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is when you're inventing new territory or pushing the dynamic or, pushing the brink, you're not going to be able to logically put it down on paper what's coming next, because you have to kind of intuitively arrive there. You have to make decisions that seem rational and have no point to people that are outside the paradigm, and then you get caught in the double entendre, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the dual existence of people think you out of your mind until you can show them a finished project and prove them wrong. So that's incredible fucking scrutiny and shit to undergo for anything. And I'm not even talking to me personally. I'm just saying to really transcend, because I don't know who you are personally. Whoever's listening to this right now, I don't know you. I don't know what your best qualities are, or what you would exceed at, or naturally be drawn to. I've never had a conversation with you, but I guarantee you that if you were to pursue that thing right now, you would encounter a lot of friction, and because you're trying to contradict everything that everybody around you is constructed as the definition of who the fuck you are, because they have this perception of you. Now you're living a caricature or story role, and the reason your life feels hollow and fucked up is because you're not living something you defined yourself. Yeah. You want to define yourself, but you never wanted to be defined. You said that to me earlier.
Did I?
Yeah, that's totally true.
That's an ADHD.
It's totally true.
I don't claim it's that, but it's just a fast-paced
You don't
brain.
You don't want to be defined, but you want to define yourself, and that's the truth.
It's true.
That's what we call respecting individuality. That's where
the
respect comes in. But I think that we can agree on,
I should say.
Existential principles of sociology as to what's good for everybody. I wouldn't say that it would be too hard for people to get together on, while respecting the fact that they are all their own sentient beings, but interact as a whole.
That's a neat mix.
You need to understand your role.
That's true.
Know your role, bitches.
I like to say the old Shakespeare thing, "Life is but a stage," because for me that's my mantra, and everybody has their own. That's what's interesting about this whole perspective issue, is we all have our own perspectives, and sometimes when you let that overwhelm your sensibility or sense of purpose or sense of you-ness, if that's even a word, you-ness, that one. Anyway, I digress.
We can't. My point is we can't see what is coming next. We can't predict the way it's all going to plug together, but you can open yourself up to optimal strategic situations that would allow you to tap into whatever evolutionary force it is, where you're open to seeing opportunities that maybe you didn't see before because of your perception of how all this actually this whole transgression is actually going down. So I don't know, without sounding like a fucking jagoff, to talk to somebody you have to fundamentally question reality itself, and not get douchey and lost existentially doing it, not go down a cynical rabbit hole and want to kill yourself. You're asking somebody to do the hardest thing there is to do as a human being.
You're doing
and
that
is
whole
to
thing
wake
now. It's
the fuck
it's
up.
Cool.
It is to become truly self-aware. And to truly become self-aware is a very painful, contradictory driven style of it. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
almost like the Band-Aid equivalent metaphor, like where you can either like pull it off slow and be in agony,
That's
or
why
you can
Fight
just
Club's
rip that
such a great
bitch.
movie, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it really depends on your personality type and who you are and what your pain threshold is, and the insane amount of variables and dynamics that contribute to who the fuck you are as a person in the current moment. Because again, I don't know you, and I don't know the billion statistical situations that have created you, so it's impossible for me to know the true you, just as it's impossible for you to know the true me.
Yeah.
So the limitations of perception again. What? How do you even think of that shit? I don't know what words to use. That's that kind of thing. I don't. It's you kick the can around until you start getting this thing going, and you kind of like you're like jump starting this motor and you're flexing a muscle.
Well, that's
and what it is your
yeah.
ability to be open
You're
to discussing it in a productive, needs to be better, it's never good enough kind of way.
Yeah, absolutely.
We never arrive at an end result,
from,
and that's the dynamic you need to embrace.
And when people get self-loathing, it's like
we arrive at.
That's why we have
plateaus.
sympathy for people. Even when I speak to them, when people share things, they get empathy. But if they get too much empathy, they're not happy. If they get just enough, they're happy. And that's what I learned in school so far. Is like. The empathy can be either a good thing or a demon for your ego, so to speak.
That's when mantras of
Maybe
I know nothing, or like you need to be humble
kick
in.
Handy.
Because what
Silent
you're
mantras.
doing is you're giving a lot of credit to what you perceive as what could be their perception, which is a very fucking like shot in the dark of you actually getting it right.
There's a local band that was out years ago called Silent Self.
Yeah.
I never really understood the name, to be honest. I do now, and I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't think about it, but it sounded cool at the time, and they were a pretty good band. But it makes sense, I get the metaphor. Like there has to be a silent self in everybody. We ought to have a silent self,
There's a you that nobody knows.
And sometimes it's better to keep that.
You don't even know.
Right there.
Because as a human being, I can say I don't know what I truly want.
As you covered earlier, it's just there's certain times.
I know. I feel like I'm pulled towards certain things.
Yeah.
But to preconceive it, arriving at conclusions.
That's why I like the keyword rabbit hole. It's awesome because when you do get long-winded, you have to explain to people that no, I'm not long-winded. I'm just a talker.
Yeah.
I like to go on and on
people
about what I feel about.
But it's just because of the fractal nature of the universe itself. Everything, any area can be expounded upon until you're blue in the face, and that's the trap. So you never reel it back in and continue the narrative. No, you get lost on this rabbit hole. Then you talk about a different topic. You get lost on the other rabbit hole. Then you start adhering to rules of the dynamics of the conversation without even realizing that you're adhering to those fucking rules. It's a mind fuck because you're not self-aware and you're not critically thinking, and they're suppressing those tendencies and that ability in you. Culturally, individually, peer-to-peer, you've been butt fucked and you had no clue.
And that can happen.
Ta-da! I'm here with the doom and gloom. No, but by choice, the nature of what I just said, though, it means you could become aware and start doing your thing, start being productive. It doesn't matter when or where or how you wake up.
Right. But it's
just that you do. It doesn't matter if you're 40 or 80 or 10 or 15 or 17 or that one summer at band camp with this crazy mushroom experience. Whatever the fuck happens to you. To just go, wow, this is way more than meets the eye. That's the only thing that actually needs to happen. The rest will follow suit naturally, because eventually if you follow that train of thought, you'll arrive at the conclusions that we discuss here. And it might not be the exact verbatim kind of thing we've said, but it'll be in the same vein, same vibe, same ebb and flow, like able to communicate back and forth with us, and we can have a rational discussion and be objective, and I don't know, act like fucking
that's
I'm a grown up.
Yeah. Hey, it took me 38 fucking years to figure that shit out, And I think when I'm 68, I'll say the same thing. When I'm 74, I'll say the same thing.
Took me a fast 26 burnout style.
What I say earlier today when I saw you, I was like, when it's 40-40, that's like a long time from now. But I'm the kind of guy growing up on all that science fiction, I guess. Like, that's hope. Again, damn, hope science fiction is.
Well, you mean 2045 is the singularity. We may achieve immortality in our time.
Well, it always stick with
just
me. That's one of the first things Dr. V ever
ponder.
said in class. Sorry, I didn't mean to dismiss you, but...
I can't believe I used the word ponder.
Well, it's because I fucking say it all the time, and it just wears off. It's one of those things. And like I discussed earlier, like
Where you know it, I'll be saying the word.
I know I go
tinkerer.
like this just because I'm tired. It's like I just don't have the energy to open my teeth.
my mouth.
I need to go to bed. I can't run my mouth anymore. Yeah, that's hard for a guy like me. Like I've tired my mouth hole out. Wow, I can actually do that.
It's very possible. I've done long days in retail where it's high volume, and you sell so much and you talk so much. When
you made a living
you're
as a
mush
talker.
mouth.
Yeah,
you can do it. You're just like I can't even fucking speak right now.
Yep.
Because you just burnt.
Well, you've made a living as a
very
talker.
possible.
It's good for you. You said it earlier today when I saw you. You're like, just fucking.
Comes the ability. It comes the ability. Comes the time when your ability just fails you. You're like shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't talk.
You just run out of steam. You're just like, I have to go outside
when you're
and just
like
blow off steam.
like 9 to 10 hours into just selling.
Or as Ian would say, rub one out in the shit house.
In a retail store, though, like you're just pushing product nonstop for like 10 hours. By hour 10, man, you're done.
Yeah.
Your ability to communicate is just gone.
Burnt
and you
out.
probably still got another hour or two left.
Burnt
That's
out.
usually how those jobs work.
Yeah.
So you have to push through to that shit. Then when you get done and you finally get home and like say you want to hang out with a buddy to have a beer, now you can't even talk to your buddy because you're just like,
Yeah.
you know. I've been there. Black Friday was a bitch.
Maybe it's too
I used to
personal,
hate
but
that
I
shit.
have to remember to pull my damn pants up because I got CP, big deal, Sometimes I'm just too lazy. That's the truth because it just takes longer, and I'll leave it at that. I don't always
Okay,
like
that
free
was
parties.
like I don't even know where that
Yeah,
connects.
it's a rabbit hole. That's what it was. As you say, it's a rabbit hole. I jumped in that fucker and jumped back out. Look at that,
It's
lickety
a-
split. Bam.
It's a fucking, it's
We
like
can
little
do
magic
that.
tricks.
Who would have thunk it? You can
Fucking
change your
Houdini,
mood.
bitch.
On a heartbeat, you can change your mood.
Who cares?
You know what? I gotta
Flying
say,
through.
you're so at school. You really showed that, like social, and that. I knew the things you felt about. Obviously, I knew in the show.
Yeah.
You're very vocal about it, and I've learned to say my piece because I live in a country where I can, and it's nice for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, school. Because I was already socially fucking awkward from all the touring and shit. It does that to people.
Yeah.
And that's not pretentious, but it
Yeah.
just happens. And anyway, being at school has taught me that social etiquette, and it's for my age. It's a new thing. That's all. Rabbit
But
hole.
that is the sad thing is because a lot of times that's the truest thing ever for like a lot of people is that their social etiquette is based on their experience at school, which a lot of people's experience at school is very shallow and vain and ugly and gross. But listen, we're gonna call it. We've been going for a while. We're gonna wrap it up. We got things to do post production. Listen again. Check out the Compassionate Care Act for New York. Show some support. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It just is. Everybody knows it is.
Yeah.
And if you say otherwise, you're just being a dick. Yeah. And I'm sure they don't appreciate my coarse language while endorsing their cause. But
It's cool.
let's be honest. The only people that make a difference are real fucking people, and we're real fucking people, right? People. A lot of you used to the word people. There, people.
It's hard to live in the world. You gotta try to be real,
But until the NSA kicks the door in, and we disappear into the night, like something out of V from Vendetta,
Yeah.
we'll be here railing against it. So we got nothing better to do. So stay safe, you dirty bitches.